on this week's episode of Ramz's Hoosier Pawn.
Okay, my name is Robert, and I brought in a Japanese World War II flag and a bayonet from the British Empire in the late 1800s.
What are you, a princess today?
I'm a princess every day. What are you talking about?
What are you wearing that thing for?
It came in today and Dad said I could wear it.
Jeez, you're lucky.
No.
So what did you bring in today?
A golden spike from Fifth Street. I think I found it in an old shed years ago.
How you doing today?
Doing fine, thank you.
What did you bring for us today?
Well, this is an 1886 Springfield rifle, Civil War era.
Look at this, Corey. Look.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were joking about that.
No, I told you I was a cowgirl. I had my little skirt and my little vest.
This is Randy Ramsey, and this is his pawn store. He works here with his wife Melanie, sons Corey and Chad, and daughter Amanda. Many items here have a unique story. And after 25 years in the business, he's learned that you never know what's coming through the door next. This is Ramz's Hoosier Pawn.
Chad, did I ever show you my handy dandy knife?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That is. Are you trying to be Crocodile Dundee?
Well, actually, while you were away, we had this really nice collector's knife come in. It's handmade by R.B. McDowell. It has its handle is made of sterling silver, 30 ounces actually.
My, feels like about 5 pounds. With that much silver weight, it has to have $750 in just scrap.
Yeah. The handle also is stag, and it has a really nice engraving on the back there. Pretty nice collector's piece.
Yeah. We get quite a few knife collectors in. They'll be interested in seeing this one.
I think they will.
Tonight I brought in a 1886 Springfield rifle, Civil War era, and I'm sort of hoping to get around $400 for it, and we'll see what we get.
How you doing today?
Doing fine, thank you.
What did you bring for us today?
Well, this is an 1886 Springfield rifle, Civil War era. It does not have all its parts, but they're kind of hard to get hold of in almost any condition, so I thought I'd bring it in and see what you thought of it.
Well, it definitely is an old piece, and like you said, it looks like it's missing the area that your nipple would be on for the percussion part of it, and it's been patched a few times.
Yeah, it looks like it has the Springfield lettering as well as the eagle with the U.S. down underneath it. Typical of Springfield merchandise.
Is this something that you were thinking about selling or getting a loan on, or
Possibly selling.
possibly selling?
Well, the research I've found out on a lot of these, and we've had some in the past, the Springfields came out with the flintlocks, and then eventually they came out with the cap and ball like this, and a lot of them were converted over to be what's called a trapdoor, and this is before the trapdoor version. Obviously it wasn't converted. I believe that it's for the length that it is, it was used or made right after the 1884 version. I think they were typically used for cavalry because they were a shorter gun rather than the rifle. They're the carbine version.
Did you have an idea what you're hoping to get out of it?
No, just was curious to say the least.
Well, the condition is the key thing on these. I've had people call me and I've gone to their home and you could see light where it had actually rusted completely through. This has not done that, but the wood has had a lot of patch work and missing. Where are you thinking, Chad, that we would need to be on something like this?
Considering what we've bought and sold some of the ones in the past for, we've had several different price ranges anywhere that we've been able to sell them for. Sometimes we'll sell them for parts because of the condition of them. Some people may need parts off of them, and but I think that for what we've bought them in the past and sold them for, we would be interested in giving you about $300 for it.
But if, obviously, if it was mint condition, then you're talking a whole different ball game.
Yeah, when it's in better shape without the damage to the stock and the pitting and the barrel, you really jump the price up, and a lot of dealers and collectors will be interested in that time.
Well, it certainly is an interesting piece, that's for sure.
Yes, and there's sometimes people just buy a piece like this to put up on their mantle above the fireplace and just for looks.
Do you think you'd be interested in selling it today?
Possibly.
Okay.
if the $300 is something you would consider, we can write you up today.
Well, I think I was thinking more in the range of about 400, realizing that it isn't really a complete piece.
Sure.
But they don't make them anymore.
How about if we push it to 3 1/4?
Well, I'm not sure about that. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
perfectly fine. We're here,
If you were in the mood to go to 350, maybe 350.
350. Well, that's.
I think we'll take a chance on it for 350.
Yeah,
I think that'd be okay.
My son
Yeah.
oversees the gun department, so
Yeah.
I'll let him.
Well, one could say
Surpass
he's
my
doing a
decision.
bang-up job with this.
Yes, and with the current government, issues that they're having with guns right now, we certainly don't have to worry about the capacity.
Yep. It
Yeah,
doesn't have a very big
and-
magazine to
No.
it.
And a firearm like this, we are a licensed firearm dealer, so therefore we can sell newer firearms as well as antique firearms. A piece like this, the person that buys it won't have to fill out all kinds of paper because of the age of it and because it's a non-functional gun. So if you're interested, I'll have Chad write you up at the 350 level.
Yeah, we can do that. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming
Right
in.
this way.
Well, that was an interesting session, and I learned a little bit about the Springfield that I wasn't aware of. I was hoping to get about 400 for it, but we settled out at 350, and I'm pleased with that.
Coming up next on Ramsey's Hoosier Pawn.
Remember when we started RamZ Exchange on Elmwood Avenue in 1988 with a little jewelry, coins, antiques, and collectibles?
Yes, and people had such needs for borrowing money, so we became the county's first licensed pawn shop so we could help.
Then we moved everything 20 years later to North Fairby Drive, doubling our space and renaming it Ramz's Emporium.
And we still care about people and their needs, giving as many loans as we can on items of value.
Get help from the caring people at Ramz's Emporium.
You never know what's going to come through the door next.
What did we get in this time?
What are you, a princess today?
I'm a princess every day. What are you talking about?
What are you wearing that thing for?
It came in today and Dad said I could wear it.
Jeez, you're lucky.
No.
Well, I was talking to Dad about this, and he actually got a couple items in musical instrument-wise. And this item, actually, this harmonica, it's an Echo Honer. It was actually played by a blind guy in Rossville, and he played at local churches and different events and stuff like
Really
that.
cool.
It was handed down to like a friend of his, and she brought it in and sold it to us.
That's
So,
really neat.
Yeah.
Have you
kinda
tried
neat.
to play it?
No, I haven't.
Because it's icky.
Well,
What
this
about
also
that?
came in too. They call them squeeze boxes or accordions, depending on what part of the country you're in. Yeah, we picked up both just recently.
Have you tried to play that?
No, I haven't.
We could almost have like a band.
I know, right? Along with all the other instruments, we probably could put one together.
Yep.
Hello, my name's James, and I brought a railroad spike in from the 5th Street, and I'm hoping to get around 150 bucks today for it.
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Pretty good.
Your brother and his son come in here all the time for Star Wars stuff, right?
Right, yep.
Yeah, I thought you looked familiar.
Yeah, Brian.
Yes, exactly.
And Ryan.
Yeah, and Ryan.
Yeah, both of them.
They're in here all the time. So what did you bring in today?
A golden spike.
Okay. How did you acquire this item?
I found it in an old bandit shed I used to tore apart.
Oh, very nice. Okay. We've actually had one similar to this in. I actually recall it's been probably close to 5 years ago at our old location. We actually had one, and so yeah, that's the second one I've seen ever. So
Great.
Pretty
What's
neat.
this artwork right here?
Let's see here. It looks like a local artist, Rick Moon, did the print here, and it looks like it's a limited edition of 500, 155 of 500, and he pencil signed it.
Right.
So it looks like he did an etching of some sorts.
He said it's a lithograph.
Lithograph. Okay, great. And then so did the print there. Pretty neat. So this actually says it came out of the 5th Street, Lafayette, Indiana, from the Monon Railroad, which is one of the local ones that came through back in the day. Very neat. Are you thinking that you want to do a loan on it or sell it, or what were you thinking about today?
Probably just sell it.
Sell it outright? Do you have any idea what you're thinking you wanted to get out of it?
Around 150.
150? Okay. Well, thinking back to what we had on the old one, it definitely has some local interest for sure. Not only with the local artist, but with the railroad spike coming out of our local area,
Right,
which is
right.
a lot of people are after Monon stuff. We get some of the oil cans in and some of the brakeman's caps and things like that. So a lot of stuff comes in that route. There was a lot of these railroad nails that got pulled up, but because of it having some documentation showing it coming out of the 5th Street, that makes it a little bit more interesting to us.
Right.
If you just looked up railroad nails from around the area, you could probably pick them up in the $1 to $20 range. Now, the other thing that's neat about this, as I was doing a quick look there, it looks like it's actually been plated in 24 karat gold, which
Right.
is very thin layering, but still kind of neat
Right.
as a presentation piece. I don't think you're super far off of where I think a retail would be.
Okay.
Our old location, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, we had one priced at $95.
Okay.
And I think we ended up selling it because it had been with us for a while, and it's not something that people specifically get that are railroad. It's kind of in between there. And I think we ended up selling it at about $75 to another dealer.
Okay.
Based off of what I've had them in the past, I think I'd probably want to be about 50 cash or about 75 on a trade if you wanted to get something in-house.
Oh, yeah?
Which I don't
Like
know if
another
you're...
wrestling belt?
Yeah,
For your family
Yeah,
member?
that's right. You did buy those 2
Yeah.
wrestling belts we had
Sure
in.
did, yep.
Or we could apply it towards that chair.
Yeah, we
that
could
you've
do
been
that
looking
too.
at. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, I'd be a little stronger that route. So 50 cash or 75 trade, and that's just basing off of what we sold our
Right.
last one at.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's something that you think you'd want to do today, or if you need to think about it.
Well, I'm strapped for cash today, so I mean, I can sell it for cash today.
Okay, great. Well, if you're
I'll
want
go
to sell
ahead
it at
and ring
50,
you up.
we'll get her to
Okay.
ring you up, and she'll take care of you.
Okay.
All right.
go.
Thank
Alrighty.
you so much. Yeah.
I was hoping to get a little more out of the item, but I'll settle for the 50 that they give me. And I learned a lot of history today on it.
Coming up next, this is Randy Ramsey, and this is Ramz's Emporium. He works here with his sons Corey and Chad. You never know what's coming through the door next.
A Native American transformation mask.
Authenticated Jim Brown and Walter Payton autographed football.
Government issue Colt 1909 45 caliber.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to Ramz's on North Farabee Drive, Lafayette.
Corey, I don't know if I recall telling you about this. We had bought this some time ago, but it's a bronze placard. And I don't know if you can tell with the snakes that are interwoven with all the greenery, but the gentleman who brought this in said his grandfather took this off the side of the door of a castle in Germany during World War II.
Right.
And he said when his grandfather brought it back to the United States, he took it to a museum, and they said indeed it was from the 1600s. There is a 1630 date on the back, but he said at that time, his grandfather said that they had offered him about $600 for it, and of course that's been years ago. But I've often thought that this, in the hands of the right person, and somewhere we've got written on a piece of paper the name of the city that this came from.
I think also didn't a little medallion come in with that too?
I believe we also have a medallion as well, and both of them are bronze with a gold gild put on top. But I just thought, very interesting piece.
Oh.
Okay, my name is Robert, and I brought in a Japanese World War II flag and a bayonet. I believe it's from the British Empire in late 1800s. I'm hoping to get, I don't know, maybe 75 for the flag and maybe 40 or 50 bucks for the bayonet.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay.
My name is Randy.
Robert.
I'm Corey.
Corey, nice
Welcome
to meet
to
you.
Nice to meet you.
Got a couple items here I thought maybe you might want to take a look at. Got a World War II Japanese flag, and the bayonet, from what I can tell, it looks like it's British, possibly 1880s.
Okay, very
Something like
good.
that.
We get an awful lot of military things coming in from Civil War on up. Every once in a while we get pre-Civil War, but a lot of people, although they don't condone what they stood for, but they do collect a lot of items that are military related. Some, as is in this case, is Japanese. Others are from Nazi Germany. We even had a couple of ladies come in collecting black memorabilia, And initially we thought that might be offensive, but there are people that collect all kinds of things
Absolutely.
that we don't necessarily approve of what the issues were all about or what they stood for. But what can you tell us about these? Where did you come by them?
Well, the Japanese flag I actually bought on a military show. I'm somewhat
Oh.
of a living historian, reenactor,
Oh,
and
very good.
I do World War II reenacting, and I thought that looked good in my war room, and my war room's getting too big.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's too much stuff
much
in
stuff.
the room.
So
The room's not big enough.
Are you saying we may see you again
You
sometime?
may, yeah. And
Yeah.
the bayonet, I came across, somebody gave it to me, and
Yeah, this style was actually used from Civil War, well, even Revolutionary War had a similar style, but
Right.
they used it up through Civil War and into World War I and even Spanish-American War. So,
Right.
so we see a large time slot that these were
Is
utilized
this
in.
made out of silk?
This one is silk. Some of these that were made out of silk actually were used by the pilots, and they would actually have it folded up in their pocket, and when they dive bombed into boats and people's homes and so forth. But yeah, and then some, we've even had some of these come in where they had a lot of Japanese writing on them to represent various names of people and so forth.
Or probably where they went.
yeah. I've read up a little bit about them, and the writing makes the flag more desirable.
And some of the flags that are captured by the United States will have the officers' names on them that captured
really?
it. And those are interesting
Yes.
as well. As you're coming in today, are you thinking in terms of selling these or getting a loan on them?
No, I think I'm going to sell them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd like to anyway.
What kind of price range are you hoping for?
Well, I was thinking about 75 for the flag, maybe 30 or 40 for the bayonet, something like that.
Doesn't sound unreasonable. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we had a lady come in with a Nazi German dagger in a display box. And I asked her what she was hoping for, and she said she was hoping for about $300. And I said, that doesn't sound unreasonable. I just accidentally picked up the cotton, and there were $400 bills laying under it. And
Oh,
I
my
said,
goodness.
sure, I'll give you the 300. And then I showed her, but she was very happy to walk away with 700.
There's no hidden things in there.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing hidden on that. So.
Well, maybe there's something.
Yeah.
I
Not a whole lot of hiding
just
spaces.
with the number of these that I've received before, I don't think you're out of the ballpark at all. I would offer you $100 for the pair of these, which would average it out about 50 apiece.
Well, yeah, I guess that sounds fair enough. Yeah,
Okay.
I can do that.
All right, I
All right.
appreciate that, and we're just happy that you came in. And if you decide to sell some of your other collectibles, you'll know where we are.
Yep,
If
sure
you
will.
need to thin the room out a little
Thin
bit
the room
more.
out a little bit, yeah. sure
I'm going
will.
to have Corey write you up. We'll need your driver's license and get that taken care of for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank
All
you
right,
very
thank
much.
Take care of you. All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but that's probably a fair price. I didn't give that much for the bayonet, so probably equaled itself out. I'm pretty happy with what happened here.
Coming up next on Ramsey's Hoosier Pawn. This is Randy Ramsey, and this is Ramsey's Emporium. He works here with his wife Melanie and his daughter Amanda. You never know what's coming through the door next.
Turn of the century 14-karat white gold filigree diamond and sapphire bracelet.
A lady's antique bracelet with rose-cut diamonds.
A beautiful freshwater pearl necklace.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to Ramsey's on North Farabee Drive in Lafayette.
Well, look at you cleaning.
I know I never have time for this, do I? Too busy with everything else.
Well, I think nobody has time for cleaning around this place. Look at this, Corey. Look, look, look.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were joking about that.
No, I told you I was a cowgirl. The kids in the neighborhood always wanted me to come and play cowboys with them, and I had my little skirt and my little vest, and I had my cowboy hat and my boots. I had my holster. Remember when you were talking about the holsters,
Yes,
the toy guns the other
yeah.
day? I told you I did.
Now
I found it.
Is this how you lassoed Dad?
Oh, you better believe it. I was a little bit young for that, though. You see, I
just
was
mean
very
like
young.
you were
I can't ever
practicing
wear
for
this
later
now.
days.
Well, I probably was, but yeah, I mean, that was just a fun thing, that a fond memory that I have of my childhood when That was the big thing. We were either going to play baseball or we were going to play cowboys.
If you can get that on, I'll get the horse ready for you.
Ah, you're joking. It's crazy, man. What do you have here, Randy?
Actually, these are hard for us to get in because they did up books like this for all the states, and these are rosters of individuals, names, and all the information about who was involved in the Civil War.
Oh my
But this
word.
set
Wow.
is just on Indiana.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
it's interesting to find them at all, and then to be able to get for Indiana.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at all the names.
Yeah, we just, I think we got 6 different ones this time, and this is not even a complete set for the state of Indiana.
Now, this is unaccounted for. Does that mean that they never found them? And they don't know where they died, or?
They could have been killed and then buried, or they could have
wow.
run off and joined somebody else.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it's all the listings of where regiments they were in, where they were located, the names of all the individuals in a particular regiment. So it's pretty interesting information.
That is amazing.
And anybody doing a history study on their family for the Civil War
Sure.
and people who were involved that could find it for the state of Indiana.
So, if people are looking for something, they can come here if we still have the books.
If we still have the books.
How many are there altogether?
I think there's 8 or 10, and we've got 6 right now. I've got 2 back on my desk, and I've had just 1 or 2 previously come in that I've sold, and now we just got in a set of 6 of those.
That's amazing.
I'm Porter. I brought in a document today. It's a land grant. It's 162 years old, 160 acres in Montgomery County, signed by the 13th President of the United States, Millard Fillmore. I wanted to check with Randy and see what it's worth. Hi, I'm Porter.
Porter,
Melanie.
I'm Melanie.
How are you?
I remember
Good
you
to see
from
you.
years and years
It
ago.
has been years ago.
You were our insurance agent when our daughter was only about 3 years old.
I remember.
Wow. I know your name. I will never forget your name.
Well,
but I couldn't remember where I'd seen you, but now I've got it.
It's great.
What do you have today?
I have a document here that's signed by the 13th President of the United States, Millard Fillmore. It's given to a Civil War soldier, 160 acres in Montgomery County, and down at Crawfordsville Courthouse has it recorded. It's
You know what?
162 years old.
Before you go any further, I think I need my husband's assistance. So let me call him in here because I think he probably has a lot more knowledge about this than I do.
That'd
Just
be
a
great.
minute. Randy, could you come here a minute? I think I'll need your help on this.
Sure. What can I help you with?
Do you remember Porter Paris? He was our
Yes,
insurance
I
do. Hi,
agent
Randy.
many years
Hi.
ago, and
Good to
he's
see you
brought in
again.
That's good to see
something
you.
that I think that you might be able to tell us about.
Yeah, this is, it's amazing how many land grants we get coming in. Let me put on my glasses for this one
Okay.
here.
I'm going to trade you places so you can look at it a little
It's
bit better.
162 years old,
Let me,
signed by the 13th President of the United States, Millard Fillmore, and it's recorded at the courthouse in Crawfordsville, Indiana.
I get an awful lot of these coming in recorded at the in Crawfordsville.
It's over 162 years old to record them, but it's locked up in the basement. They said if anything's over 100 years old, they don't keep them current.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
this is definitely an authentic document from the time period. The only difficulty that we find, and I've had examples, several varieties of them, where they'll have a president's name and then they'll have a secretary's name. And I even had a situation where the secretary was the son of the president, and he signed almost all of his
that happens
father's
quite a bit, yes.
documents. And that does happen, but there are many documents that are actually signed by a
You know,
president.
the President Fillmore wasn't very popular, so his signature's not worth that much.
Yep.
He was of the Whig Party. He never had a vice president.
Wow.
He served from 1850 to 1853.
Oh, okay.
And why he didn't have a vice president, I don't know. We didn't have a Secretary of State, and we had Secretary of State, but no Speaker of the House. I don't know who would have been president if he hadn't made it through.
Now, where did you come by this?
I found it in a booklet that I had got it in school. I've had that for years.
Oh,
I just put it away. In fact, I've had it for 63 years.
Oh,
my.
gosh.
Yeah, every time I get one of these in, I just think they're just neat. I probably have had as many as 10 at a time with different presidents autographs on them.
I was aimed to call the courthouse, and I finally talked to a lady, and she said, I'm sure it's here, it's recorded on page 89 and volume 86 and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
They have records of it, but...
Right. Some of them are in the hundreds of dollars if they're actually signed by the president, and some are in the thousands of dollars depending upon who the president. If it was Lincoln by chance,
it was George Washington before
yes.
Fillmore, he didn't do too much. He got, after he messed up in the Civil War, they disbanded the Whig Party, so they ought to disband a couple other parties, I think, the way we're doing. Anyway, that's a different story.
Were you thinking about selling this or getting a loan on it? Or?
No, I don't need a loan. I'd like maybe somebody
what kind of money were
could
you
purchase
hoping to
from
get
you.
out of it?
We looked it up on, if it's his signature, my grandson looked it up and they run it for like $1,400.
Okay, yeah, and that's even high for this particular president if it was done by him.
He's not very famous. That's
Let
for
me,
sure.
if you've got just a few moments,
Sure,
let me step back because I'm suspicious that this may not be by him because it's signed with the President Fillmore, and then it says by, and it has the secretary's name right under it. So let me check into that.
Very good indication.
Yes, let me check into that if you've got a moment.
Thank you.
Okay, just a moment, I'll be back. Well, I've got a little bit of disappointing news for you. Like I said, it isn't.
It's worth a lot more.
Well, it is an authentic document, but it's something that we would probably only, since it is done by a secretary, we would only offer about $75 and probably sell it for maybe $125.
For somebody, maybe the family would like to see who owns it now. That's what I always intended to do, but I never got around to it. And I finally found it.
I don't know if at that level you just soon hang on to it. Or...
No, that'd be great. I'll take it and I'll take for 2 rounds of golf that way.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you coming in, and I'll have my wife write you up. We'll need a driver's license and get all the
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. You step over this way and we'll take care of it over here.
I thought the document might be a little worth more than that if President Fillmore had to sign it himself, which he didn't. He wasn't a very popular president, and I'm sure that document would have been more if it had been signed by Lincoln or Washington or someone. But I'm happy maybe somebody will come and purchase it and look up the families and see the history of it.
Hi, I'm Dave. I was in a couple weeks ago and Randy gave me an offer on a painting, and I've thought it over and checked, and I think maybe I'm going to come in and take Randy's offer, and I'll sell that today.
Well, hi, Dave.
Hi, Randy.
What are you up to today?
Well, I brought my painting back in. You had made me an offer $3,000, and I believe I'm going to accept that, and I hope that you get as much enjoyment from this as I did.
We'll enjoy it until someone comes along that likes it more than we do.
Very good.
Thanks again. I'll have Harmony step up here and ring you up.
Thank you.
I can take you right over here.
Thank you.
On next week's episode of Ramz's Hoosier Pawn.
Welcome. We have a piece of art that came in and wanted to get a little information from you about this. Yeah, just based upon what we've been able to find out, I'm thinking we'd want to be in the $300 to $350 range.
Oh boy, I'd sure like to get around 600. But
it's a piece of Nazi memorabilia that my uncle brought back from World War II.